Good morning, everyone. I hope it's not too loud in the background. I wanted to quickly do an introduction before you jump into the video that you're about to see. I was doing a meditation last night in my yard, and I was reminded of this video that I took a year ago. The video is really funny. You guys are going to enjoy it. When I first did it in my Facebook group, I did it as a live, and I was just sharing a vision that I had gotten. And it was really powerful and really potent and really funny and just silly the way the divine gave it to me. And then I was reminded of it again yesterday. And it's so funny because when I gave you guys that vision, little did I know that the divine was talking to me and that I was about to go through one of the biggest storms of my life. And to be honest, I've really concluded that storm. And last night I was doing a meditation, and everything that I talk about in this video in the beginning, where I'm like, you know, the divine is coming in and it's with your higher self, and like all of that happened in my meditation yesterday. But instead of going through the storm, it was like I was at the end and I had learned, and the divine was coming back to pick me back up. And I went back this morning and I rewatched that video, all 20 minutes, what you're about to watch. And I cried, and I just have so much gratitude in my heart for the storm that I've gone through literally the last year. It has been so difficult and so hard, and I moved through so many difficult things. However, it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I have been on this journey as a spiritual awakened being for a long time, 8-9 years, and I've gone through this over and over and over, but this last one was something that brought me into a place in my power where I am really ready to fully step into my mission. And I'm sharing this with you because it's just really ironic how I talk about it, and I have no idea that I'm talking to myself, and I have no idea that future Holly is gonna look back at that video and be like, oh my god, I'm talking to myself. So enjoy this video. If you find yourself right now like in the storm, if you find yourself like resonating at all with this video as you watch, understand that it will end, and understand that even if it feels so difficult, and in the moments of like, I don't know how I'm going to survive this, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill, or I don't know how I'm going to do this, or maybe you're like, how am I going to pay this bill? I need to pay the last 6 bills. Understand that like it's happening for you. Trust in the divine. Trust in yourself. You have to have your back right now, okay? If you're resonating with this message, you have to have your back. Please trust me when I tell you that it's going to be okay, but you have to lean deep into yourself and into the divine and trust that everything is working out perfectly in every single way and every single layer, okay? I know it's really loud in here, but whatever. In here, in this outside world I'm in. Okay, so enjoy this video. The quality is not the best because I had to download it from Facebook. It also is not filmed the right way, so you're gonna see black bars, but it doesn't matter. It's about the message, and I know that it's gonna touch whoever this is meant to touch. That's my intention right now with the divine, is that whoever is meant to hear this message will listen to it, will hear it, and it will feed their soul in some way or in some aspect, okay? I really hope that you enjoy it. Check out the information down below. This whole year, I've shifted the way that I do business. Last year, I started to have that moment where I was like, what am I doing? And I have really come full circle, and I am kind of pioneering a change in the industry that I'm in, and have created all of the, courses and classes that I have created and made them completely donation-based. I really feel that this information that was given to me from the divine on how to connect, on how to develop your gifts, on how to be a channel, on how to support yourself through this journey, and also how to give yourself these education. So there's a certification there to be able to do this in a way that feels really good in your heart and soul. I put it all up for donation-based, and it's an honor to be able to offer this to the collective. There's no strings attached. I'm doing it because it's what I'm meant to do. It's what I'm called to do, and I'm listening. And so if you want to jump in on that, everything will be down below, and you can go check out the courses and classes and start enjoying them. Enjoy this message. And if this resonates with you, comment down below and let us support you. Let us love you. Let me help you through this process. If you have any questions on what to do or where to go or how to cope or techniques and things like that, comment down below, and I'm happy to share. whatever I feel on my heart is meant for you from the divine. And other than that, I hope you have the best rest of your day. Hold on tight, because when the storm is over, miracles will unfold. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hello everyone, how are you? Today, oh my God, I had to come on really quick because I was just talking to a private client of mine, and I did a reading yesterday where I got a lot of insight on what it means to kind of be in like the shit storm of life. And I'm laughing because we've all been there. And the way that they showed it to me, and explained it to me was pretty funny in a sense of like, okay, I can deal with this. Okay, I can handle it for now. Okay, so let me explain what this is about, what this means, okay, and what I'm talking to you about today. If you are someone that, first of all, hi, how are you? I'm Holly. If you don't know who I am, welcome to this space. If you're here live with me, let me know that you're here. And if you are watching the replay, let me know. Good morning, Chrissy. How are you? So I won't be on here long, but I want to just tell you about this interesting perspective of what is happening when we feel like a storm has come into our life and just wrecking everything. And we're just like, honestly, what's happening right now? And so the way that it was shown to me in this vision, hello, the way it was shown to me in this vision is that imagine you, okay, right now, everybody, anytime you're in the shits, okay, imagine yourself outside, okay? You're outside, there's no cover, there's no, where to hide from the storm that is rolling in. And this storm is a forced storm, okay? The storm is coming in, and it's like, honestly, there's nothing I can do about this storm. I'm just going to let it happen. I'm just going to let it take over. And what happens is, I know, in the shits, it's my favorite way to explain what it's like to go through it, okay? Um, in this storm though, you have all of your stuff outside, okay? So you're in this field, all of your stuff that you've known as your comfortability of your truth, right? Your clothes, your things that you desire. And if we look more at like a soul level, right? It's like relationships in your life. It's jobs, it's belief systems. All of this stuff is out and ready to get destroyed. And you're like, okay, the storms are coming, right? So now all of a sudden the wind is blowing, the rain is starting, lightning is catching shit on fire, and you're just sitting there like, honestly, what am I supposed to do, right? Now all of a sudden you like lose all your clothes, okay? And so now you're naked in the storm. You're naked and afraid, okay? And you're like, what is going on? What is happening? I didn't ask for this. What's going on, right? And then you see someone in the distance walking. Okay, there's two people walking in the distance and they're coming towards you and they are happy, right? Like you're you're like, "Oh, great. Help." And then immediately you realize, "No, they're not here to help me in the way that I want." Okay? Because the two beings that are walking towards you is God, source, okay? Source energy. And the other one walking towards you is your higher self. Okay? So now all of a sudden, you're all sitting down together, okay? And God, source energy, is like, hi, so sorry about the storm. Your higher self said I had to, because see this contract that you signed before you came here? Yeah, you said that you would be done with that and that relationship and this and that other thing over there and all of those belief systems that are on fire right now. Yeah, well, that doesn't serve the next cycle that you said you would move into by now. So, I had to bring the storm. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And your higher self is like literally setting things on fire while while God is apologizing and your higher self is like, let it burn, right? Okay? And so in this vision, okay, source is like, so here's the deal, right? And your entire spiritual team is standing, I got it. I don't know what to do, right? And so source is saying you have two choices, okay? Your choice is to sit here and let everything burn and not salvage anything that you've created, not keep the things that feel good to you, aligned to you, and just surrender, or not surrender, but basically drop into victim mode and say, whatever, this is what it is. And now this is just my life. And I'm just going to live in the storm now. right? Or you have an opportunity to listen to the guidance that surrounds you, to source, to your higher self, to your guides, right? Who are saying, hey, over there is the hose.
The hose is over there. Grab it. Can you guys still hear me okay? Let me know if you can still hear me okay, because my headphone just died. But your guides and stuff are like, hey, go grab the hose that's over there and put that fire out first, right? Or, hey, grab that, let that burn, okay? It's not serving you. This is like when the fires come in as the phoenix and it starts burning shit down, okay? Starts burning things to the ground, and you are choosing whether it's salvageable for yourself or you're gonna just let it go. And it's literally like a forced storm that's happening. And while this is all going on, you're going around trying to keep the things that feel good to you and letting the things that don't serve you burn. And what can happen is our higher self, right, is like, hey, we have shit to do. We have evolution. We have certain terms of like, I need to step into this power here. Hey, we have this big calling that's coming into our life. And those belief systems that are on fire right now that you're trying to put out, or that are so big and loud and burning in front of you that you no longer can see it, okay? Those things, they cannot come with us on the next journey. So what do I have to do? I have to light those bitches on fire so that you can't salvage them or hold on to them anymore. And the way that that looks is it's so loud, so obnoxious, so in your face, so hot that you can't not look at it. Do you see what I mean? You've all been there. You've all been there where you're like, oh my God, what is going on? And God's like, bring in the storm, more rain, burn that over there. Your higher self is lighting fires and you're like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? Oh my God. Can you tell? I've been there recently. It's not a fun place to be, but there is a calm after, okay? There is. Eventually, when you actually take and set intention and say, all right, I'm putting this fire out over here. My guides told me to do this next, right? My higher self is lighting that massively on fire, so I better pay attention to this over here, right? You become okay with what is. You get stripped from all parts of you that is trying to survive, and you get into, I have to figure this out mode. And that is sometimes a place that we have to be in. Sometimes our higher self says, sorry, bitch, this is going to hurt. This is going to be hard, but literally we have to clear this out. And this is the only way I know how to get your attention, right? It's not that, we're being punished. It's that I'm doing this for you because those old clothes, they don't even fit you anymore. Why are you holding on to them? Right? So in the middle of the shits, you're trying to figure it all out and you're doing an amazing job. It's not easy. And that's why I always tell you it is so vitally important that you keep that contact to your guides. You keep that contact with source energy, with yourself. Because if not, then you become a victim to your circumstances. You become a victim to the storm, to the fire, to the flame, and you literally just burn up in that place. You don't have to be a victim to your circumstances. You don't have to be a victim to what is. You have to be tapped in to your higher self, to your guides, to source energy and say, what is it that I need to do to get out of this? You have two choices. You deal with it or you wallow in it. And we've seen examples of both sides. You may have lived both sides, or you may know people who just live in the shits and they just think, well, this is happening to me. I'm being punished. Right? There's a difference between the two. You can come from a place that's, I'm going to be empowered in my nakedness and my glory, and I'm going to start putting out these flames, or I'm going to sit here and I'm going to cry and let everything burn to the ground, and then I'll have literally nothing. Do you see the difference? We get into a place where we feel like we are a victim and we have no choice, and we're being punished by the divine. We're being punished. Look at what I've done. How dare you do this, right? When in reality, if you stay in connection to source and say, honestly, I'm pissed off at you, but we'll talk about that later, right? And God's like, I get it. I'm sorry. This sucks. I know. I get it. I know this sucks, but too bad, right? You're strong. Trust me. Some people get really heavy storms. Some people get lighter storms. You never know. It doesn't make one storm better than the other. It is what it is. And it feels very real and raw in the moment. You're vulnerable. You're in a space where everything is stripped from you. And you are now forced to rely on yourself and to rely on source. And that is the whole point of getting cracked open. That is the whole point of a spiritual awakening and a spiritual journey. And you will have multiple moments in your life where this will happen. Welcome to Earth. Okay? So let me tell you the beauty of this. As you're doing all of this, okay, when you have breaks, right? You put out the storm, you come back to source, you have some breaks. These breaks look like journaling. These breaks look like meditation, doing things that are fun, dancing, enjoying yourself, right? These are breaks. In those breaks, you are connected to source if you choose to be. And when you're connected to source in those breaks, you sit there and you say, okay, I'm taking a break from all the work that I'm doing here because I am worthy of pleasure as well, right? I'm worthy of pleasure in my life. So I can do the shadow work. I can do the hard things. I can be cracked open. I can cry. I can be vulnerable. I can put out the fires. Those of you that are just jumping on now, when I get off, go back and watch the beginning because this is an incredible vision that I saw and it really, really helps, I think, bring a lot of awareness. But you're doing all those things, but you're still allowed to come back to source. You're still allowed to come back into a place of rest and sit with source. So now you're sitting with source, God, light, whatever you want to call it. And God says to you, okay, so now that you're just chilling, what is it that you do want? If I can give you everything in the world, because hello, I'm God, what is it that you want? And in those moments, you're able to actually speak the things that you actually desire in your life. Not like, well, I would like to have. Okay, great, right? Well, I would be better off or well off if I just had this amount. Anything extra is just a plus. God's like, I didn't ask you what you need. What is it that you want? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your new yard, okay? After we get all this cleaned up, what do you want it to look like? And you make the decision in that space, in your vulnerability of, okay, this is what I would really like, right? I see that my clothes are all burned to a crisp now. So now I'm going to go through the catalog of Nordstrom or whatever, and I'm going to pick out the things that I desire to have. I see all my belief systems that used to serve me in some level and layer are now on complete fire, blowing up, going crazy. So since those are basically gone, I'm now going to have to create new belief systems of what I believe to be true in my life. And every time you tell this to source, every time you put this out and you say, this is what I desire, this is what I desire, this is what I desire, not what I need, but what I desire and not want, because want means that we can't have it. You are talking to a limitless source that's saying, you have no restrictions, you have no limitations. What do you want? Use your voice and ask for it because you are worthy of having it all. Okay? So you're telling all these things and you go back and fight some fires. You come back, you're really tired, you connect back to source and you do some more, okay? Right? And then what? And then the storm begins to calm. Source says, all right, bring in the rain. Let it pour, bitches. And it just starts raining. And you know what Source says? Looks you in the eyes and says, go out in the rain. Cleanse yourself. Baptize yourself. Wash yourself off from all the hard work you've done. Cleanse this new version of who you are. Baptism, whatever you want to look at it like. Go into the water. Go into the grass, go into the field, look at all the things that have burned around you. Look at the things that you can pick up from the ashes and say, no, I'm keeping this as my truth, right? I'm keeping this as who I am. Oh my God, I forgot I had this. I forgot that that was a part of my values. I forgot that that was a part of who I was. I forgot, I'm going to cry. This is really touching home. I forgot that these were a part of the foundational versions of who the fuck I was. I forgot about them. But now that everything else around it has burned, I'm able to grab it and salvage it and keep it. So you go and you grab all the things, the water has washed away the ashes, has washed away all of the fires. Things are really starting to part, right? The clouds are slowly moving away. The sun is beginning to come out as you feel the rays on you, and you go back, and Source walks out into the field as the sun comes out and says, look in the distance. And you look over and the clouds part, the fog goes away, and there's a huge palace. And Source says, that's yours. All this work, take all the things that you love so much, and I created that for you. You created that for you. You told me what you wanted, and I did it. And now, it's time to step into it. And what happens is our ego kicks in and we say, oh no, I'm not worthy of that. Oh no, I could never. I'm fine with what I have. Thank you so much. I'll just take $200. Keep your palace. I'll stay in my tent. And guess what Source says? You sure? Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. It's okay. I don't need it. And you know what else Source says? Well, because you're on Earth, you have free will. So if you're going to choose the tent over the palace, that's your choice. Can't force it on you. Do you see? It's so much easier to pin it on other things. It's easier to say, God has punished me. It's easier to say, that piece of shit took everything I had, and now I'm left with nothing, and the piece of shit is like a spouse or something, not God, right? That friend of mine, whatever. It's easier to do that and say, no, I'm fine. I'll just be over here. I'll let my pride stay. I don't need your palace. I don't need all of those things, right? You sure? You positive? Because I'm going to go and that's just going to sit there. So whenever you're ready, you can have it. But you have to make the choice to say, okay, yeah, I'm leaving this behind and I'm moving on to the new place. But a lot of times we don't, because we don't feel worthy of this new version of us. We don't feel like we want to integrate and anchor in this stuff. But it was made for you. Literally for you, by what you spoke, by what you said you desired to have in your life. This is co-creation. This is free will. And this is how Earth works. You're not being punished. And I know it fucking sucks when you're in the storm. I know, trust me, I know better than anyone. I've been there over and over again. And also, I have been the person that said, fuck this. I'm not going to stay in this. I am not going to let myself burn up. I'm going to go do the work. I'm going to see my shit. I'm going to cry. I'm going to say, this is really difficult, but I'm choosing something better. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to do all the things I need to do to put out these fires, grab the things that are mine, and I am literally ass running to that new place. In every single moment that I have a breather, a break, I remember to come back to Source. I remember to come back to self. And I remember to listen to my spiritual team. And that is how we make it through. And what happens is people try to do it by themselves. It's not that their team or God, Source, higher self is not telling them what to do. It's that they're refusing to hear or to see it. Or they're literally handing it to them and they're saying, no, I'll do it by myself. You have to be open to all the different resources and ways that the divine is trying to bring resources into you to help you get through the storm so that you can then move into the next phase, the next palace, right? And then maybe when the next storm that comes in the palace, it's just ruins like a couple rooms, not the whole thing. Okay? So I leave you with this. If you are watching this newly coming in, go watch from the beginning because this was a really cool vision of what it means to be in the storms and things like that. I hope that this helped you in some way, gave you a little bit of clarity, okay? And remember that when the storm is there, Source is always right by your side, giving you tips, giving you pointers, and also building the life that you desire to see. So I will talk to each of you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Friday.